days removed from Texas Tech, just going over the film, what do you feel like you learned? What do you see?
Not a good enough performance, obviously. Didn't do what things we needed to do to really be consistently successful and win. Didn't win the line of scrimmage and didn't tackle well, and fought uphill the whole game because got behind early again, and so not good enough. But all those things said, I guess we still, we're down in the fourth quarter, down 5 points and then 8 points with with the ball, and so found a way to kind of hang in there, even though we didn't really play that well overall.
I guess long term for you, obviously defense builds continuity. How do you think you guys have progressed for this season and just looking ahead this season in terms of building that continuity?
Yeah, I still think I think we've made good strides. We're not there yet, we sometimes we move ahead, sometimes we kind of take a step back a little bit once in a while. So I mean, we still need to get that consistency, and in some ways we just need to keep developing as players and as a group, and just keep figuring some things out. So I feel like we're obviously better. We've still got a lot of room to improve though. So, but I do feel like we're making the right kind of strides.
In terms of senior day, what have guys like Malcolm and Caleb and Sam meant for you this season?
Yeah, they've been good, rock steady people and players, and done what we've asked and bought into what we're about, and they've like I said, they haven't been problems. They've been good teammates, and then they've been productive players. So they mean a lot in that respect, and give those guys a lot of credit, because they were they had every reason to leave or throw their hands up and shake their head and say it's more of the same. But they didn't. They've really done a good job in helping to move us forward and become a lot more consistent.
And there are obviously a lot of young guys in that defensive line, and specifically that are playing right now. How much does having kind of those three, or just the seniors in general, around to kind of mentor those younger defensive linemen?
Well, I do think it matters. I do think they do those kind of things and take guys under their wing, and I like the fact that they're not necessarily threatened, like this guy's trying to take my job or he's trying to take my playing time. We think they recognize that we're better as a collective unit than just individual pieces in that way, and so those guys have done a good job of help bringing those guys along and giving them encouragement and confidence as we go forward.
When you watched that TCU game that Texas just played, they held them to 3 points offensively, and I wonder, do you look for things that they did that work? I know it's different schemes and you can't overhaul everything in a week, but do you look for that kind of thing?
Sometimes, yeah. Like if there's particularly a part of a coverage, sometimes we play some similar things, and what do they do really well, and if there's a movement pattern or blitz path or something like that, like what do they seem to consistently struggle with? So sometimes, but I'm sure Texas would probably feel like after playing that, like they probably didn't play very well. They dropped a lot of balls, and that I don't know that they typically do, and so they kept shooting themselves in the foot the same way. So, TCU certainly played with energy and with physicality, and I know that's something that if we don't copy anything else, we need to play that way, and that gives us the best chance to win any week.
You might have just said it. Is that the big key to stopping Texas? Just the physicality? Yeah,
we do need to. They got lots of good football players. All over the place. Still, they got lots of talent, and quarterback and running back and receivers and offensive line is good. They're good all over the place. But I tell the guys all the time, we can be a really good defense when we put it all together and play with confidence and play with just taking it to somebody. The games we've been able to do that, we do well. The games that sometimes I feel like we're kind of on our heels a little bit, we don't. So we guys got to kind of flush away as best we can last week and look at this week and be excited about playing them, and we just got to take it to them.
You mentioned their quarterback. Just how does he stack up compared to past guys you faced this season?
I think he's good. I think he's got a good arm. He's got an accurate arm. He makes tough throws. You know, doesn't always make every throw, but just in terms of arm talent and those kind of things, I think he's as good as anybody I think we played. You know, and that from that standpoint, I don't know that he's I think he's a capable runner. I don't think that's really what his game is. So I think they play to his strengths pretty good. And if there's somebody that's open, he's going to find it and he can get him the ball. So it's a heck of a challenge because they got some guys that can get open.
Brian, they don't play as fast as the Texas Techs, do they?
No, not down in and down out. I mean, you can tell there's here there kind of stuff where you can tell they're trying to speed it up a little bit. I guess sort of like our offense would kind of be, but they're not that frantic pace by any means. So
It's kind of nice to get back to see a defense or an offense like that.
yeah, they're unusual in that respect, probably with even some of their personnel groups and formations and plays and things like that. They're more of a they're more like they're more like us in some respects than a lot of teams we've been playing, at least recently. So so good in some ways, right? But we still have to prepare. We're still prepared for tempo. We still work periods of that now because you just don't know when that stuff's going to show itself. So you just got to stay ready. And like I said, they're slightly different kind of offense than what we've been seeing here lately in some respects. So it's a little bit of a change of pace. And but I think we had a really good practice today. So I feel like our guys we're on track, to hopefully play our best game.
I'm curious with Cobee on Saturday. Do you feel like that was the best game he's played for you guys this season?
Yeah, it was one. I think in terms of his coverage and things like that. Yeah, he had several pass breakups, and we try to play a lot of tight coverage out there, and I think he does a really good job at that. So that's right in his wheelhouse, and he's like a lot of our guys. We got to keep bringing the physical piece to the run game and things like that sometimes, but in terms of his coverage ability and his willingness to play hard and fast and give it everything he has, he's doing a really good job out there. Really, every game he plays, he does a good job.
And as a sophomore, I mean, he's played a lot of football for you guys through 2 seasons. Since you guys got here, where do you feel like he's kind of grown the most overall?
I think just his day in and day out reliability, I guess people would call it maturity, his ability to withstand, like a bad play or a missed play doesn't go in the tank, kind of is able to flush that away and keep focused and really and keep his confidence. I guess I think that's one of his good areas is that he's confident in himself and not in an arrogant way, but he's just confident in himself. So he doesn't let one thing, one negative thing become 2.
Kenny's someone who, he could come back. This could be his last home game too. Lance mentioned yesterday that, someone that this team values. How do you feel about Kenny's place and maybe his potential about coming back?
Yeah, same thing. I got to tell you, I don't spend a minute thinking about that. I don't. So I guess that's a point down the road here at some point when, when our season is over, that, we can discuss it more and he can tell us, I guess, telling me what he's thinking. But he's a valuable member of our team, and I'm certainly not wishing that he goes away. I'm not worried about it right now, and we'll guess we just got to deal with that down the road. So.
Anything else, Coach?
Okay, guys.
Thanks, Brian.